There's a strange tale circulating in Belobog's underworld. The robot named Svarog is antagonistic toward most residents here, but shows human-like emotion and thought for one girl in particular. Though the worlds of blood and oil couldn't be further apart, the relationship between these two is akin to family. Clara is a physical-type fighter, following the path of destruction. Despite her fragility, this little girl has her own way of doing battle. When Clara uses her basic attack, Svarog will deal physical damage to a single enemy. Under Svarog's protection, the damage taken by Clara is reduced. Svarog will place a mark of counter on any enemy that attacks Clara and deal them a ferocious counterattack. Svarog is constantly watching the enemy's every move in battle. Consume a skill point and use Clara's skills. Svarog watches over you. For Svarog to deal physical damage to all enemies, as well as extra physical damage to enemies tagged with a mark of counter. All marks of counter are removed after Clara's skill is used. When Clara uses her technique to enter battle while exploring, she increases the chance of enemies attacking her for a few turns, allowing Svarog's counter to be triggered more frequently. Svarog's protection of Clara stems from a promise, not a command. When Clara uses her ultimate, Svarog protects her in a more comprehensive manner. Damage received by Clara is further decreased, and the chance of enemies attacking her is significantly increased for a set number of turns. At the same time, Svarog's counters are enhanced and he immediately unleashes them against any enemy that attacks an ally. Plus, Svarog's damage increases and he deals a set amount to enemies adjacent to the target. But Svarog's enhanced counters are limited. The chaotic underworld is home to many a foolish vagrant seeking to challenge Svarog's status. Down here, Svarog must rely on his iron fist to uphold order. 3 enemies launch an attack on Clara. Svarog pairs the blows, delivers his counters, and catalogs the attackers, tagging each with a mark of counter. Clara uses her skill for Svarog to launch missiles and deal damage to all enemies. Due to the existing marks of counter, all enemies receive extra damage, and the battlefield is wiped clean. Now, Clara uses her ultimate to deal with an aggressive second wave of enemies. Svarog's counters are now enhanced. He will counter enemies whenever an ally is attacked and deal damage to enemies adjacent to the enemy target. Svarog's counterattacks repel the challengers, and order is returned to the underworld once again. As an old-era security robot, Svarog witnessed the war between the Eurilo 6 natives and the Antimatter Legion, as well as the Stellaron's activation and the arrival of the Eternal Freeze. He sealed away every one of these secrets, and in the subsequent era of peace, his concern has been the preservation of order beneath the surface. Though it seems like being Clara's photographer is a close second. Priorities, man.